It was a chilly autumn evening when I first set foot in an awkward manner, a centuries-old mansion tucked away in the heart of a secluded forest. The place was a relic of the past, its time-worn facades seemingly frozen in time. I had been hired to catalog the estate's antiques and artifacts, a handsome job that offered a amazing pay but came with a strange caveat. I was to work alone and never stay past the sunset. As I stepped through the creaking front door, I felt an eerie chill run down my spine. The air inside was heavy, thick with the scent of aged wood and faded memory. Dust danced on in the dim light that filtered through the tattered curtains. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. My first day passed without incident. I wandered through the mansion, marveling at the ornate furnishing and antique trinkets that adorned every room. Each piece had a story to tell, but I soon realized that some stories were best left untold. It was on the second evening, as the sun began its descent behind the tall trees, that I heard a faint mournful wail that echoed through the corridors. My heart raced as I tried to pinpoint the source, but the sound seemed to emanate from nowhere and everywhere at all at once. That night, as I lay in the guest bedroom, I was jolted awake by the sensation of icy fingers grazing my cheek. I sat up, heart pounding, but the room was empty. It must have been a dream, I thought, but the chill in the air persisted. In the days that followed, the strange occurrences escalated. Doors slammed shut on their own, and their eerie whispers filled the empty rooms. Antique dolls seemed to move on their own, their glassy eyes following me wherever I went. The once charming mansion had become a labyrinth of dread. Desperate of answer, I began to research the history of the Eckford Manor. It was a dark past filled with tragedy and loss. Generation of the family that had lived there had met untimely deaths, and the whisper in town spoke of a curse that hung over the estate. One evening, as I delved deeper into the mansion's history, I stumbled upon a hidden room in the basement. Its walls were adorned with strange symbols, and a single candle flickered in the center of the room. My heart raced as I realized that this was where the malevolent energy seemed to converge. As I examined the symbols, a cold breeze filled the room, extinguishing the candles. Panic set in as I fumbled for my flashlight. But when the beam pierced the darkness, I gasped in horror. Before me stood a spectral figure, its eyes filled with another otherworldly malice. The ghostly apparition spoke in a hollow, mournful voice. Leave this place or suffer the same fate as those before you. Terrified, I stumbled out of the hidden room and fled to the safety of the main house. I knew that I had to heed the warning, but something kept me rooted to awkward manner. The curse had its hooks in me, and I couldn't escape its clutches. As the days turned into weeks, the haunting grew more relentless. Sleeping nights and unending dread took their toll on my sanity. The ghostly figure appeared more frequently, its threats growing more menacing. One fateful night, as the moon hung low in the sky, I made a decision. I would confront the curse head on. Armed with the knowledge that I gathered with a trembling heart, I returned to the hidden room in the basement, clutching a piece of parchment I had found in my research. In the dim light, I recited an incantation from the parchment, hoping it would break the curse that bound me to the mansion. As the words left my lips, a deafening roar filled the room, and the spectral figure materialized before me. Writing in agony, the curse power waned, and I could feel its grip losing. With one final anguished cry, the ghostly figure dissipated, leaving behind an eerie stillness. I had broken the curse of awkward manner. With the task complete, I packed my belongings and left the mansion behind. The weight of the past lifted from my shoulders, but I couldn't forget the horrors I had witnessed. Awkward Manor was a place where the boundary between the living and the dead blurred, and I had glimpsed the darkness that lay beyond. To this day, I am haunted by the memory of that fateful encounter, and I often wonder if the curse of awkward manner still lingers, waiting for its next victim to step through its door. One thing is certain, I will never forget that I endured in that accused mention, a horror story that will stay with me for the rest of my days.